If your destination is Udia, it will be a long journey across the borders.
Once you pass the rugged Akumo Mountains, you'll arrive at the wide-open salt plains.
Be careful. Go see Priestess Garoa if you want safe passage.
You're from Brideholm, right? You're the adventurer Father Armin told me about.
It's worse than I thought. The springs in the area are contaminated. Now that we've prevented the plague from spreading, this place should be safe. The plague has spread further than anyone expected. The sky is black from burning all the bodies. I'm trying to save as many as I can, but we're sorely undermanned at the guard posts. This place needs someone like you. Please, defend the outpost against these infected attackers. The soldiers at the post can take a breather now. What a relief.
We're under attack by plagued creatures.
This is a bad time to have guests. We're under attack. A plague-spreading demon is controlling the nearby monsters. Ignite the powder keg. Fight to the end. Now that the commander is defeated, we can transport the wounded and repair the damaged areas. Burn the corpses to stop the plague from spreading. You came at just the right time.
Then you've met my captain?
I see.
They fought the demons until the end, like the proud border guards they were.
These are records left by a pilgrim who was looking for the Ark a long time ago.
I managed to escape safely, but I'm afraid Venice didn't.
My wares! They're engulfed in flames! Somebody, please put out the fire!
Fire!
You're traveling to the monastery? Just follow this road. I wouldn't go there if I were you, though.
This place is in grave danger. Plague is spreading. Our medicines are useless. And anyone who tries to help just gets sick. The situation is growing dire. And now the dead have risen to attack any the plague has spared. Please, help us. The last time, the demons placed some strange orbs in monastery orchards. Thank you. Father Armin is here, helping us treat the patients.
I've never seen a disease like this before. I don't know what to do.
The orbs? I don't know about them. Brother Dailam may be able to help you.
We've suffered over...
We're too busy trying to survive the next hour to worry about the plague. I saw the spiders fall. The stone you mentioned. I think it's the serpentine jade. It has superb detoxifying properties.
With this serpentine jade, we should be able to treat those suffering from the plague. Helios de laptones, miliocanes. How are you feeling?
I believe I owe you my life.
My friend and I are on our way to Judea in search of the Ark. Father Varut said that we must look for the Morai ruins. We were wondering if you've ever heard of it.
Morai? Yes, I think so. According to legend, it was the capital of Encavia, right up until it sank. I believe the nomads of the Salt Desert would know more. Their ancestors came from Encavia. Before you set out, get the Tome of the Pilgrim from Brother Ulrid. I'm sure it will prove useful.
Would you travel to Judea and look for a way to get to Morai ruins?
I heard Abbot Lewin regained consciousness.
Can't pass through here if you have the plague.
The wagon can't go any further.
Looks like they're gonna find the entrance for me. Storis, keep an eye on our new friends.
People who were scattered during the attack haven't reached this temporary encampment yet.
Who are you? Why do you claim to help us? Why would an outsider aid us?
Everyone who escaped with me headed south.
Falcon wants me to come to the north side? Is he crazy? There are bandits everywhere!
I heard you drove the bandits away. Thank you.
Welcome. I arrived early to have a look around.
You want me to tell you about the Morai ruins?
Perhaps this old monument could whisper secrets about Enkavia to us.
Outsider? Wait, are you the hero who drove away the bandits? Thank you so much.
Morai, capital of Enkavia, achieved harmony and prosperity under the mighty King Kaisar. However, when the hero Lutera left a seal in the heart of Morai, a dark rift began to form. The simmering envy that Kaisar felt toward Lutera quickly spread throughout the city, and turned into a vicious darkness.
Did you find the monument? Oh, that's good to hear.
Found a treasure map from a nomad, but it's so old, it's illegible. Boss, why don't you take a look?
You defeated Achara. That's amazing. Wonderful job.
Look, a clue about Morai. The monuments are dedicated to the Morai ruins. This is just the beginning.
Caesar, the king of Encavia, meddled with dark sorcery to acquire great power like that of the hero Lutera. However, Thanatos, the creature that Caesar summoned from the outer realm, was beyond the humans' control. After the giant wave that shook the earth, the capital of Morai fell into darkness.
They won't follow me around anymore, right? We were on our way to the Nomad gathering when they struck.
Dad! Where are you? They took everyone.
Revel should know.
Who are you? You're looking for Thunder? Thunder was kidnapped by the bandits.
Are you with the bandits? I guess you're not. I used to be a bandit. Now I'm suspecting other people.
No, the heavens have saved me.
I've heard. You've been helping my people since Saland. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your help. Here comes my savior. So, what brings you to this old woman?
In order to find the Forgotten Kingdom that fell into darkness, I wandered through the desert for what seemed like an eternity. However, I eventually found traces of it, and will be heading there soon. I note this here in cause I fail. To any seeker of Encavia's remains, remember this. The entrance to Morai is opened by the water that holds the light of creation.
The gates of Morai are opened by water? The answer must be hidden in the shaman's ancestral knowledge, passed down through generations. Please, speak to Thunder.
Yes, I remember that. I thought it had to do with the ritual for rain. Listen to Yudia's voice. Dear gods, please watch over the descendants of Enkavia.
Assault is up!
You nomads don't know who you're messing with. There is no escape. My new pet hasn't eaten in days. It's starving. Destroy them! Wait! No! Them! Not me! Them! Stupid worm! Receiving help from an enemy. At least none of the other bandits saw that.
Goodness. Everyone, back. This creature is tainted with evil. I'll take care of it. I'm glad the damage is minimal. This must have broken their spirits, too.
Ah, good job. Thanks to you and the priest, the meeting ended without a hitch. I'll prepare the ritual for rain. Thank you.
I hope Thunder's spell works.
Hope the spell is successful. It looks usable, but this isn't enough.
Now that you've brought this solar salt, we may begin the spell. Please, place the salt on the altar.
It's glowing!
Morai? Morai! The old forgotten city of our people. It wasn't a myth.
The Morai ruins have appeared. This is what the monument meant. You found the entrance. Let's knock. See if anyone's home. Fallen Kingdom. Morai. We did it. Light of Regulus, Lord of all gods. This should help us see the path. Let's hurry and search the ruins. That was a close one. We better watch our step. This glyph seems to respond to light. Careful. The path is slippery. Only the light of Genesis can extinguish the darkness. What could this mean? There must be a way forward. Huh. That breeze, it's coming from those rocks. The ruins must be through there. I can make a path. Morai, cursed? What did this to them? There's far too many of them. I'll find another way. Go on!
Surface dwellers have invaded. Find them.
As you command, I smell them. Where? Find the trespassers! Find them! They're here!
Rise, O Lord of Darkness, O Lord of extinguish the light with the wall like night.
Cloaked in darkness. We must pierce the darkness with light. A little more. Almost got it. Now is the time. Reflect light onto Thanatos by using the gold mirror in a sunny spot. Destroy his dark energy.
What do you hope to accomplish? Only death awaits you here.
It's the first key to the Ark. The sword seal. Down here all this time.
Good job. But I'll be taking the seal from here.
Watch out!
Using your own body as a shield. Foolish. Not bad for a half-breed demon. But this is as far as you go.
Sword seal. One last time.
You pretend to be human, but this is the real you.
That seal is mine!
Just a delay.
Ah, welcome back. You don't look hurt.
What if they really show up? Demons and ghosts? What am I supposed to do? Who are you?
Are they discussing?
Welcome.
You found me. One moment I was fighting a demon, and the next I was here.
A powerful humanoid demon has appeared. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Shah Jahan asked you to come help me? Thank goodness. Thanks to you, we fended off the demon's attack.
Oh, you came. I searched on my way here, but I couldn't find the demon. Based on the direction it was heading, I think it's traveling toward Lutera.
Oh, are you the adventurer the priest told me about? I saved your seat.
Please, travel safely. May your new journey be blessed with the light.
I came to see you off. Thank you so much for everything.
Were you going to leave without saying goodbye? Well, thank you.
You're Yuria's savior.
You're the adventurer from Udia. I've heard about you from Father Armin.
We arrived to investigate the Eagle Seal, but we couldn't move because too many people were gravely wounded.
As if cutting off our supply route wasn't enough, Sherrod had to launch a surprise attack.
Thank you.
Oh, I feel a little better now.
I really thought that was it for me.
Everyone's out of the woods. You have my deepest gratitude.
Halt! If you wish to enter, identify...
Hang in there. You'll be well soon enough.
Thank you, oh blessed priest.
Ah, you're here. Right this way. Follow me. You've come. I was here treating the soldiers.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Thyrain, a knight of Lutera.
Well met, Sir Thyrain. I am Armin. And this is my traveling companion.
I wanted to thank you for treating my soldiers. Their slow recovery has weighed heavily on me. Thanks to you, I have one less thing to keep me up at night. You must be exhausted. Let me get you a hot meal and some accommodations for the night.
Target in sight. No witnesses.
Watch out!
Protect the prince! Secure the perimeter!
Prince Thyrain, are you hurt?
Nothing for you to worry about.
But, Your Highness...
I told you. I'm fine. It's just a scratch.
If I may, please hold still. Tilioko kolaltsawala, tulafnils nandu hestashnia.
Wow. Impressive.
Fortunately, the wound was not too deep. Clearly, you're more than just a knight of Lutera.
I'm not much of a prince these days. We can talk more about it over there.
This is my first real battle. I hope I do okay.
Thank you for your help. This could have been a real disaster.
It seems like Prince Thirain is a man of character, just as they say.
Give me medicine!
Is this the list of supplies? Oh, it's very detailed. This will be helpful.
I'm glad he appreciated it. I'm almost done with the treatment.
Thank you for helping Mihan. What a relief.
Prince Thirain sent you? No way! Good. The pigeons will feel better soon.
To those suffering under the rule of Regent Sherritt, your days of misery will soon be over. I vow to bring the usurper to justice and take back Luterra Castle.
Thank goodness. A new hope dawns upon Luterra.
There you are, adventurer.
I can't breathe.
How did you know we were short on iron? Mihan was about to handle that.
Why did I ever volunteer?
So, you're the one who saved Prince Thirain. Your reputation precedes you.
Who are you? And why'd you just try to kick me?
I guess that's a little better. Do you know the Song of Valor, the national anthem of Lutera? No? Then, let me explain.
I could tell even before you came to me. I could hear the soldiers humming along all the way from here.
It's over? Mach is truly amazing. I wouldn't have been able to do the same in such a short time.
You're here, adventurer. I came here with Prince Thirain, but he went ahead to Lake Bar Village when he heard an army was approaching.
Father Armin sent you. Thank you very much.
It's been far too long, dear Prince. Is this your army? You couldn't possibly be thinking of using this rabble against Lord Sherritt, would you? The throne belongs to its rightful owner. And my spies tell me you haven't even been able to activate Vanquisher. It's time to yield the sword, disband this gang of criminals, and plead for mercy. And we may let you live.
If Sherritt really wants this so badly, he's welcome to come fetch it.
Brave, but foolish words, young prince. You will regret this, boy.
Let him go. We don't kill messengers. Even rude ones.
Oh, good.
You've arrived safely.
Vanquisher is an heirloom of the Lutheran dynasty. It's supposed to glow when held by the rightful heir to the crown. It's how my ancestors proved their worthiness. Which is also why Sherrod seeks Vanquisher for himself. But it won't even show the faintest glimmer in my hands. What does that say about me? Are you trying to make me feel better? Don't worry. This is not something I obsess over. Winning this war is the only thing I worry about now. My worthiness comes later.
Sire, we're under attack! The Regent's forces are here!
Let's go.
Yeah, good riddance.
Spare my life! Your Highness, I was only following orders.
Following orders? Did you really just say that? Innocent villagers are dead. By your hand. Do you have no will of your own? Can you not see the difference between right and wrong? You are no true knight of Luterra. You are responsible for these atrocities, and you will face justice for them. I have spoken. Take him away.
Your Highness, you must not spare his life!
Yeah!
Your Highness, you must not spare his life!
Long live King yeah, you deserve it! You deserve it!
All the harm done to the villagers is my fault. This time, we'll make the first move. The enemy is encamped south of the hill. Good work. Now the village will be out of harm's way. We've managed to defeat most of the enemies who raided Lake Bar. If it weren't for you, it would have taken much longer.
Greetings. I am Hordern, the village chief.
"8 years old? He's only a child."
Prince Thyrane appears devastated.
Oh, he probably blames himself for all the atrocities Regent Sherrod has been causing in the kingdom.
I just don't know what's happening anymore.
Really values his people.
This feels like the end times.
We need a crown. Dad says a king needs to wear a crown.
I see. I've heard how chaos is swept across Lutera.
Crown? Are you talking about a steel crown?
I'm Phobos, the peddler. I'm not a child. I'm a proud peddler.
Crown? Ah, that's an interesting story. I'll gladly give you one if it's for Prince Thirain.
It's an investment. Prince Thirain is definitely worth a big investment.
Unlike Sherrod, he genuinely cares about his people. Take this too.
Have you been to the peddlers? As expected, Lutera's merchants are quite different.
Who are you? What's that? A crown for the prince? Then you've come to the right place. I'm the world's best Dumar blacksmith, and don't let anyone tell you different. Well, hurry up, show me what materials I got to work with. Not bad, but also not enough. Unless this prince has the world's tiniest head. I need more materials to work with. Lucky for you, Lake Bar should have everything you need. Take this.
Hello. I'm Mirren.
Back already? Okay, one fancy crown coming right up. Came out good. And good for me is like a perfect masterpiece for anyone else. Take it. If you collect natural materials and bring them to a trade skill expert like me, they can make you useful stuff. There are all sorts of trade skill experts out there. There are cooks, alchemists, you name it. Be sure to, pay them a visit. Now grab your crown and get going. I got work to do.
Coronation? That's out of the blue. What do you mean?
You've completed the crown.
Armin refused. We'll be at the coronation site soon. I hope you'll do me the honor of performing the ceremony.
It is a holy ceremony. I must regrettably decline.
You can't be serious. Who's holier than a priest?
But I am... Wait. Something's here. Great timing.
What? How are you still alive? Annoying little cockroaches. I'm gonna exterminate you all. I expected more from the great heir of Lutera. This ends now. What? The power! I'm here to let it out so much.
Armin. I see now why you declined my request to perform the ceremony. Demons have no place in our sacred rites. You're a priest who uses all of his gifts to help those in need. And you saved my life today with one of those gifts. What we are does not determine who we are.
Thyrane.
You will preside over my coronation. Consider it my first order as your king.
Very well.
Glad that's settled. Shall we?
We will now begin the rites of coronation. Prince Thyrane, kneel before your ancestors. The prince shall now take the vow of kings.
As King of Lutera, my enemies are only evil and injustice. I pledge my life to defend my people as their shield.
Adventurer, bring forth the crown. And with this holy crown, I anoint thee as King Thirain of Lutera. Rise, Your Majesty.
Three cheers! Long live King Thirain! For Lutera!
For Lutera!
forever! Your Highness, please! Sir Bernard and his forces were ambushed by demons on his way here. Most of us were annihilated. The survivors are holding out at Medric Monastery. They can't hold out for long.
Rest now. Your sacrifice shall not be in vain. Everyone, to arms! We march on Medric Monastery immediately. From this moment on, our army will head to the Medric Monastery.
Thirain, playing king with his toy soldiers. How dare he oppose me?
Considering how he's managed to assemble such a sizable force already, perhaps he is worthy of the crown after all.
Ah, if he was worthy, Vanquisher would be a light. He's not worthy of ruling an outhouse, much less a kingdom. I'd kill him now if we didn't need him in order to find the Eagle Seal. Which, I believe, interests you far more than me.
Ha. But you need me, so what I want, you want.
Whatever. Those cowards in the West will never follow Thirain.
Things are turning out to be quite interesting.
Are you going to the Medric Monastery?
You're here! So, did my crown fulfill its purpose?
I'm Thenon, and I belong to a unit led by Sir Bernard.
You're the adventurer Prince Thirain talked about.
It's a massacre.
We should pray about this.
Old man, you're still alive. Thank the gods.
Not for much longer. I'm afraid. I hoped I could see you take the crown with my very own eyes.
Is there nothing you can do?
Your Highness, it's too late for me.
Don't say that. I'll make sure it pay for this. I swear it.
A king must control his anger. A king must rule his subjects with kindness. A king must believe in himself. Vanquisher will surely shine again. Use it to restore Luterra to its glory. As the kingdom of knights I believe in.
Should have called for reinforcements. I did this. Damn it. Damn it.
It seems like Prince Thirain is deeply heartbroken. He's never shown himself like that before.
Sir Bernard has been like a grandfather to the prince, especially after His Highness lost his father.
Sir Bernard must have been extremely precious to Thirain.
The Song of Valor. That was his favorite song. Come. We have much to do. Thank you. You're always around to help me out. I've made up my mind, but there's still a problem. Please don't give me that look. Actually, I told Armin about my concerns, and he gave me a wise answer.
Speak to Abbot Aferin? I already have.
A demon in a monastery.
Of course. I've been meaning to accommodate Prince Thirain's request.
At times like this, we must hold fast to our faith.
Who are you? Your Prince Thyrane's companion?
You're here. So what did the Medric Monastery say?
I am the village chief Barchan.
This won't do at all. It was bad enough they steal from us. Now they abduct our people? You've done a great job. This village's militia joined forces with us. Unfortunately, none of them are in any shape to march with us.
Who are you? What? You want to contact the Bilbrin militia?
Tails. Claws. Identify yourself. Toybonin does not know you. If you want to live, don't come close to Toybonin.
Outsider, identify yourself. Entry into Bilbrin Forest is heavily restricted.
Those monsters!
Are you an acquaintance of Toybonin? Interesting. As for Prince Thyrain, he's already had a conversation with our leader, Castleford.
You're here. I sought out Castleford to ask for help, but he refused.
What did we do to deserve this? I'm so hungry.
I'm Castleford, the leader of this militia.
Failed to protect my own throne? He's not completely wrong about that, you know.
Oh, you've been looking for Thyrain?
We thought we knew better.
It's all over.
It's an emergency!
So you've come. You heard the story, I gather.
You've saved our lives. Thank you. You should run too.
Sylvia has been captured in the back. She's the leader's daughter.
Prince Thyrain, why did you help us? Is this some ploy to get us to follow you?
No, I only did what I thought was right, as do you. We were able to rescue everyone safely thanks to you.
That's...
Is that so? That is certainly a difficult decision to make.
What? Sherrit? So that's why Anang was so nervous.
So, the prince has made a decision. I've been awaiting his orders.
For the sake of my brother, I'll give him a good thrashing.
The warrior priests are ready. We will handle the demons.
Keep up the good work. Fighting to protect the people. I expected no less from the prince. I will try my best.
If this old man can be of any help, I will commit all my strength.
What did everyone say? I see. They chose to follow me.
You're here, adventurer.
Excellent. The warrior priests have done well. This is all thanks to you and Armin.
Thyrane has mustered far more troops than expected.
Traitors all. They will regret their decision. I'll take this opportunity to wipe out all my enemies in a single stroke.
You'd better get yourself ready, Lord Sherritt.
The boy who would be king. I have been waiting for you. And you've brought all the rebels from the west with you. All traitors died today. Cadigan, bring me Thyrane's head and Vanquisher.
It will be done, Lord Sherritt. No survivors!
My king, we are here.
Castleford, perfect timing. We take the fight to them. You okay?
Carmine, you dare summon me to a petty mortal squabble? Wait, that sword. You are Luterra-kin. Finally, a chance to repay the insult your ancestor inflicted upon me! The Keeper of Vanquisher. And where is its light? The sword is as dull and lifeless as you are, boy. The bloodline is thinned. There is nothing of Luterra in you.
A king must control his anger. A king must rule his subjects with kindness. A king must believe in himself.
That light! Yes, I've been waiting for this. Now for a proper battle to the death. Carmine, what is the meaning of this?
I am only doing as instructed. These are orders from Kazaros.
But my revenge! I will not let you get away with this, Carmine!
Is this just some game to you, demon?
Yes, but not one I feel like playing today. But don't worry. I'll set up a proper board for us soon enough. Best of luck with your true opponent. Try not to break any pieces.
Vanquisher's light. It's time to put an end to this. Lutera Castle. I'm coming. We finally secured some breathing room. This is all thanks to you. Now we must march toward the Wall of Heroes.
We're in top condition. Shall we march?
Night has fallen. Let us march. We must light a signal fire and prepare to head for the glorious wall. Now, on to Lutera Castle. The enemy's defenses are formidable. To take down the wall, we'll split into 3 units. The left flank will climb the western wall. From there, we'll strike at the center.
I sense a dark aura nearby. We best be careful.
Please hurry. The battering rams are leaving soon. we're done for. The bombardment is growing fiercer. At this rate, the other battering rams are at risk. To send a signal to Prince Thirain.
No smoke. The western section has been taken. Very well. We'll break through the castle gate as it is.
This way.
Mages. We better do something about them. There's a magic barrier here. It'll be nearly impossible to break down the gate as it is.
Yeah, someone jumped inside.
Alone? Who would be so bold?
Was you? Come on, let's go.
Your Highness, we'll handle it here. You need to go after Sherrod.
Understood. Don't get yourselves killed in a place like this.
Watch out!
I'll leave it to you.
Thirain, did you really think I'd just stand by and do nothing?
Sherrod!
This is why you are unworthy of the throne. Just like your father.
You are no king.
I am the leader Lutera deserves. It's mine!
Lay down your arms, Sherrod. It's over. This is demonic power. You sold your soul.
Sold? No, Thirain. I took this power. Humans, demons, I'll rule them all. Allow me to demonstrate my new powers. You're still here. Your many talents are wasted on him. How about it? Will you swear loyalty to the true King of Lutera? A wise decision. You'll make a fine addition to my... You fool! I am the King of Lutera. You'll pay for that! No. Lutera is mine. Mine. I am the king.
Thirain!
You managed to defeat Sherrod. Quite impressive.
Carmine! Open the gate!
My. Someone's a little impatient. Have fun, Master Voltan.
Demon Commander.
Why is the Master of Vanquisher already wounded? What happened here, Carmine?
Apologies, Master Voltan. I know you wanted your vengeance. But this is the one who killed Sherrod. Killing him should prove rather enjoyable, yes?
This is not what I wanted. But very well. However, if you interrupt me again, I will kill you next.
Understood. This one's all yours. Enjoy.
Make this more exciting for me, as Lutera did all those years ago. You're a skilled fighter, but I'm done playing around.
Stop! This is my fight.
Vanquisher, I've been looking forward to this. Die! Delane! Your half-breed power pales in...
Thirain!
It still lives.
Yes, but you have dealt quite the blow to my beloved commander. Vanquisher's reputation is well earned.
Carmine.
And now, the moment I've been waiting for.
Carmine! You treacherous scum! What are you
doing? Yes! So this is the power of a Legion commander. Magnificent. Why the long faces? We both got what we wanted today, did we not? Enjoy your victory, hero. For now.
What could that demon be plotting? Regardless, it looks like our long war is finally over. We're finally home.
Your Majesty! Are you all right? Where's Sherrit?
Sherrit is dead.
Your Majesty, you must immediately lay claim to the throne.
That is not where I should be right now. How can we call this a victory? Every drop of blood spilled here belongs to a Lutheran. But there will be time to grieve later. Descendants of Luterra, the fight is over. But take a look around you. Many have fallen in battle. The Wall of Heroes is stained in scarlet. So we must remember what it is we fought for. We fought for our beloved families and a better tomorrow for our children. So raise your heads high and proud. This is Luterra, the Kingdom of Knights. This place is a part of each and every one of us. Let us rebuild our proud history once again. Our resolve shall never waver. We inherit the legacy of our ancestors. We will restore the glory of Luterra, the Kingdom of Knights, once again. Behold, the light you have restored, the dawn of a new day. Luterra is safe. And we have you to thank for that. I'd like to extend my most heartfelt gratitude. I, King Thirain, do declare that in recognition of your many valorous acts, you shall be granted the title of King's Knight, Guardian of Luterra.
All hail the King's Knight!
All hail Luterra!
For the King's Knight!
All hail Luterra!
For the King's Knight!
Thank you. It would have been impossible without you. Now, it's my turn to help.
I'll have to look for the clues Nahun left behind.
King Thirain asked you to participate in rebuilding Lutera? Huh.
Welcome, King's Knight.
My favored knight. In recognition of protecting the mortal world and bringing honor to Lutera, I, King Thirain of Lutera, hereby grant you a stronghold. Couldn't be prouder to call you my friend. I hope this stronghold proves a worthy reward for your efforts.
May your stronghold be filled with the grace of Regulus.
I will be by His Majesty's side as the Royal Guard captain until my last breath.
Halt! Only authorized personnel may enter.
By the hells, Dudry. Don't you recognize the champion of Lutera Castle?
You mean the one who's a close friend to the king? Sorry about that.
As you may have heard, these are the Proving Grounds. It's where powerful warriors gather to test their mettle in honorable combat. You'll find similar places in the larger cities like Lutera. We call them arenas. You can participate in an arena by yourself to prove your strength in solo combat. Or you can partner with allies to take on tougher challenges. Solo or grouped, be ready to take on some truly powerful opponents. Then again, you're a formidable knight in service of His Highness. If you plan on venturing out, you may find it wise to gain as much combat experience as you can out there. If you want to register, you can do so inside the arena. I have a feeling you'll be one of the greatest champions ever of the Proving Grounds. Good luck.
Oh, sir. What are you doing here? Are you going to join the Proving Grounds?
His Majesty ordered to reopen the auction house to revive Lutera's economy?
Salute the hero of the Wall of Heroes!
Ah, you're the one who helped King Thyrane.
On behalf of everyone in the county, I'd like to thank you for your help.
Ah, you want to see the records left by my ancestor. Are you saying you need the safe keys?
I overheard your conversation. You're looking for the records our ancestor left in the safe.
Master Norn wants to order top-of-the-line farming tools?
These weapons were abandoned by Sherrod's soldiers when they fled. What good would they be on a farm?
These may have belonged to the rebels, but they look like they could be useful.
Huzzah! I'm big and strong! Master Norrin said someone was on the way. He was talking about you, wasn't he? As expected, even the color is different from ordinary iron. I'll melt this, spread it, and beat it.
Master Norin told me about you. You'd like to take a look around the domain?
What? My brother sent me a gift?
Excuse me. Let me introduce myself. I'm Elise, Bishu Nahun's daughter.
They want to cut taxes in half? Oh, that's great news.
I have time to stretch now. Yay.
Life's gotten a lot better since we got a new king.
That villain Sherrit choked every last penny from us. But the new king certainly seems to understand our situation.
So, you want to turn all this Diorica into horse feed?
Say that again. Bishu? He sent all this Diorica feed?
You did it. Now we just have to convince Uncle Bishu.
Master Montirk asked you to get stallions for the Bishu Manor? Wow!
What fine stallions these are! Who could be so generous to send them?
Montirk. Yes. Those steeds are definitely from him.
I'll get you for this!
Several knights of Luterra have come to protect the king's tomb with me. Imbued with my clay soldiers, their souls will last the ages by my side. We must protect the glorious king of Luterra and the power of Genesis that he has taken on. One day, when the song of the hero rings throughout the land, the legend shall be reborn.
The sun bows down. The king's resting place.
You found the clues. Nahun's clay soldiers.
I've heard a similar verse.
Hello. Fine weather we're having, huh? Where are you headed?
Let me see. This song is quite old.
The 7 stars we call the sidereals burn brightly in the night sky. As they watch over us for all eternity, they share with us their light. But the grandest star of them all left Arcasia to become our eternal king.
The prince raised his sword as he recalled the knight's final words. Under the sky so clear of clouds, the kingdom you seek will come around.
La 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 la
Did you take a look?
We of the world harvest shall show the anger of the common people to the monarchy and build a nation that better serves us. All who are with us, come to the assembly area west of the farm. Let us crown our new king with our own hands.
Look at them run!
Father asked me if I wanted to become king. Since then, many things have changed. The prince disappeared, and Father sat on the throne. I prepared to succeed the throne after him.
What? I can't hear you.
What do you want with this old man?
I can't live like this anymore.
You again? Why are you still here? What are you trying to say?
Huh? Who are you?
Looks like stability is returning.
The war's finally over. Is there any good news?
Gather round. I shall now proclaim the words of King Thyrane. The tyranny of Regent Sherrod is over.
I, Thyrane, proclaim henceforth as King of Lutera, that all riches wrongfully seized shall be returned to the people of Lutera. Proud men and women of Lutera, wicked deceivers like Sherrod, shall never be tolerated in this kingdom again. May the honor and pride of Lutera live on forever.
So proclaims King Thyrane.
3 cheers for our new king. I'll second that!
How wonderful. I'm pleased.
Impressive. Very impressive.
Ah, I've been waiting for you. The wind foretold your arrival. The sun is setting now. Are you ready to welcome the darkness? There is something I must tell you before I begin. The blinding rays of dawn bow down to worship. The resting place of thee, Lutera, our eternal king. The sun is rising over Lastra Forest. The place where our hero rests. The Earth has answered our call. Go to Lastra Forest, the land that the sun worships.
You've located the tomb of the former king. I knew you'd do it.
It's been a while since I've seen a stranger here. What brings you here?
A ghost in there! It saw me! It stole the relic. A curse be upon you, Nahun!
If you still insist on going after that, I won't stop you.
I'm cursed. I've been cursed. Relic? The relic! This is your last warning. You shall not defile this place of peace. Your spirit is strong. Your soul is worthy of approaching the Ark. Approach the Soul Beacon. I shall light the beacon for you. Follow the path of the light. Follow the light. That lantern will illuminate the darkness and guide you to King Lutera's resting place.
I've been waiting for you, my worthy successor. You have sought me out through the path of the light. I sense an evil aura growing in strength. A vile power threatens to engulf the world in darkness. Behold the light of creation that bound the archdemon Kazaros. I entrust this Ark to you. Protect the mortal realm with its power. There are 6 other Arks hidden across the world. You must find them and save the light of the world from darkness.
It took some time, but we found the first Ark.
Splendid that you found the first Ark. Now, it's our duty to keep the Ark safe.
Is there a book you're looking for?
Are you looking for records on the Lazaniths?
We should pray about this.
The Lazaniths were the only people capable of flight. They were given the mission of observing and governing the world. But they deceived the gods and took the Arks for themselves. Their wings were taken as punishment.
That's in a record of the Lazanith, stored in the Medric Monastery.
Most Lazaniths returned to Elgatia. The only remaining winged Lazanith was stationed at the holy site of Trixion to observe the future of the world. Several other Lazaniths remained on Arcasia to serve as divine eyes.
It seems you're here to look at the old archives.
So what you just told me is a record of the Lazaniths? In the underground cemetery?
I've accepted the fate of my people and stayed in Arcasia, so I may observe the world and relay the voice of the gods. As I await my destiny, my calling is to lead the one who opens the future to that holy place where the flower faces the light. I have been waiting for you. Trixian, an old name. It's a realm of pure light created by the gods themselves to watch over Arcasia. A sort of watchtower for the Lazeneth, to keep an eye on us. The Song of Trixian is the only way to find it. You, of all people, should be able to follow the path of light, as King Lutera once did.
The Arks are artifacts of immense power. They can bring peace to the world, or destroy everything. Asta is the Ark of Trust. The Sidereals have entrusted you to continue their legacy. 6 more dormant arcs remain. You must find them all before the world falls to darkness.
You found the Sanctum and stored the Ark? I can't believe the Sanctum actually existed. Impressive.
Explain, Carmine.
They had some kind of magical sword. By the time I got there, Master Voltan was already slain by the mortals.
I told him that power alone cannot be relied on for victory.
Spoken like someone without any power for themselves.
What?
Does this mean we have to alter the plan, Master Kazaros?
Nothing has changed. Long ago, the light broke away from chaos and forged its own destiny. The greed of those warned by the light destroyed the balance of the cosmos. The world of darkness began to crumble.
deserve to possess the light.
I, Vicus, shall prepare a worthy sacrifice for Master Kazaros.
I will head for Rohendel. I have some unfinished business there.
I suppose I'll pay a visit to the hero who slew Voltan.
It would be my honor to guide you to them, Master Kakul Sadon.
My champions of chaos. It is up to us to restore the balance of creation. They must now pay the price.